ठीक है। Good morning to everybody. So, I'm Biswas, Academic Counselor of IGNU. So today again the MMPH 002 Human Resource Development, in short is the HRD. So today actually I have to give you some overview or I can say the review of the complete courses. There are 4 blocks, as we know, that all the 4 blocks, there are total, I think, yes, 12 units. Block 1, unit number 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 or 7 are for the block 2. And the 3 blocks contains 8, 9, 10, and block number 4 is 11, 12. So block name, I'll try to give you some of the review of all the units which we have discussed in our earlier sessions. Earlier 4, 5 sessions already we have discussed. So today I am planning to give you some recap, and some of the areas are important from the exam point of view that I have to discuss. Block 1 basically introduction of the HRD, as you know, and block 2 is for your managing HRD, and block 3 is for your HRD practices, and block 4 is your experiences and trends in the HRD. So just go unit by unit, which the things are already you have mentioned. As we have discussed in the first unit, there are meaning of the HRD. Is basically the people, when the people are joining in the particular organizations, that has to be developed. All the people has to be developed. First is acquired, and not developed in the sense of there are so many dimensions. You have to see their skill, efficiency, their competency development, then their career path, then so that can be productive. So all from the all angles that we have to see, and that is basically the concern about the HRD. Why the importance of the HRD? That also because any organizations, when it is a very complex nature, and to develop the humans, we require some of the programs. This is made through this training program. So many other forums are there. So that's why the HRD is important. In other way, that any organization should be competitive advantages to meet with all the present requirement and the future project to deal with the project. And so that's why also you have to focus on the that's why the HRD has to be developed. Earlier, the HRD was not there. Most of the company are only the personal department and other things. But slowly, it has been demand from the different environment situations. The HRD is important for that. Then evaluation of the HRD, how the HRD has come. Initially, what it was there, then slowly, and the present scenario, the different strategic point of view, the HRD is more strengthening now, especially in the area of the training and development. So that evaluations part we have already discussed. Now, so many mechanisms are there to deal with how to develop the HRD, this human resource development, human resource development purposes. So many mechanisms are there. So different ways we have to develop the humans, the resources. And then we have discussed the issues and the challenges in the HRD. What are the challenges are there? Because the human nature are thing, maybe the pay package, the compensation packages, and the career path, career planning. So a lot of issues are there where the continuous process, because this is a continuous process, and sometimes it is a lot of internal environment and the external environment is also affected. So that's why the different challenges are there in the HRD. And for the skill development is another of the issues there. When the learning people to handle the educated people, educated employees are being. So how to motivate the people, that is also another issues and challenges. So many areas are there that also we have discussed. This is the area where the questions may come. What are the issues and challenges of the HRD? That time you have to explain the things. Then what is the role of the top management in HRD? Because you see, the top management intervention is required. If any plan or any program or goal and objective set by the HRD, then that case that initiatives or some of the motivation or interventions are required from the top people. So top management initiations, top management involvement is very much important. So that is one of the area of the role of a top management. And so many other roles of management is also there that we have to go through this, or if any doubts or something, doubt clearings, then you can see my previous sessions, videos where it has been elaborately discussed. Now, today actually today's sessions are basically we are giving the unit-wise recap. Basically, we are just revising or reviewing the things which we have already discussed. Then you need to basically the HRD system. There are so many systems that there. The concept of the human resource development systems. What are the components are there? What are the subsystems of the HRD? And commented on the HRD systems, which are the subsystems are interlinked and integrated way is connected. Then components naturally. Then subsystems of the HRD systems. Then emerging new subsystems of the HRD. What are the new add-on? A lot of things are systems are add-on in the HRD systems. Designing of the HRD systems, how to design the HRD, that is also important part. Then we have discussed about the unit 3 also, where the HRD processes and the models, what type of models are there, the concept of the human resource development process, the different so many processes are there. Then we have discussed about your climate variables, different climate of the HRDs, and how it has affected what are the factors behind it. So that part also. A lot of stages of the framework, how it will be framework and its outcome of the HRD as well as other evaluations. So some of the interlinks of within the process have been discussed, and then already discussed, and what are the outcomes of the HRD, and that is aligned with towards the organization's objectives or not. That part is really important. Interlinkages always should be aligned with the uh, company's organization's objectives. Then we have discussed about the HRD for the employees. HRD, what are the conceptual development, then the meaning of the definition of the HRD, and HRD for the managers, those who are in the manager, what is the role of a managers for the HRD purposes, and what are the function of the HRD department of the employees, different functions, what are the, we can say the component of the department which are linked with the HRD, and then conclusions, the part. Then we have see the unit number 5 with the role of a managers. There's the emerging issues faced by the HRD professionals, what type of issues are there, and because as a manager he should be a good leader, a good mentor also, and have a good coach also, because he has to deal he should have a sufficient capacity, he should be knowledgeable, he should be understandable what are the going on in the employee's mind. You have to mapping the things, and moreover the competency level has to be developed individually and the others also. Then role of the HR professionals in the organizations. In a organizations, what are the role of the HR professionals? They have to watch as a agent, as a change agent, as a worker, as a for the company on the behalf of organizations. They have to do things for development purposes, and maybe take the feedback of the employees and how to implement the things for the further growth. So this is the way the unit 5 has been covered up. Then after that, unit 6 is the competency mapping. This is also important because without competency mapping, you cannot go further. So that's why you should know what are the competency of the all levels, the meaning of the competency, and the different definitions. Then the classification of the competencies, there are different classifications there, how to map up the things. Then history of the, what are the way, so many histories are there. The need for the competency mapping, why it is needed for these things. And significance of the competency mapping, that also we have already discussed. I will elaborate after that. Maybe I will take some of the slideshow for further explanations, which I feel the more discussion is more required. Now I'm just listed out the areas which are very important. Then so many modules are there. So this is the way in the unit 6. This is the key points are to be read further and to understand the things from the exam point of view or from the knowledge point of view. Then the competency IBAC model, there are so many models are there. Holistic competency model, then approaches in the development of the competency model, who identifies the competencies, and assessment center is another issue because you have to assess the things, which are the things from the audit point of view. So everything are so that easily you can do it, and for the future, basically future purposes, you can take a feedback from the assessment centers, which are the area to be required further, and what are the gaps can be filled up. So this is the way the unit 6 has the key points. Then unit number 7, that is your analysis of the performance of the career planning. You know, the performance is one of the very critical area. That management, we should know what are the personal appraisal systems and how to manage overall that performance management. Then the systems and theory of the human performance, historical perspectives, the behavior, the behaviorisms in the business and the industry. Then your performance management concept and the definition of the career, then career development perspectives, career transition and the choices, career anchors, career problems, then individual strategies and the decision making, and career trends in the raising your employment trend in India 2020. That is that part also the highlighted points. You have to go for this for further reading purposes. Then culture and climate. The defining the climate, why is the climate and why it is needed to be for the organizational growth. Then what are the elements of the HRD climate? That is the area which I have already discussed. So many measurement systems are there how to measure the HRD climate, that measurement systems, what are the mechanisms behind it. Then survey of the HRD climate in Indian organizations, and then your what contributes of the HRD climate, that is also important. So this is the way the block 3 unit number 8 as contains like this. Then we have to go for the unit number 9, where it is we have to see already discuss the counseling, how it is important, what is the meaning of the counseling, then coaching and mentoring, and what are the concept and your objectives of the coaching and the mentoring. Then you have go for the basic process, your basic process of the coaching and the mentoring. Then the process of the mentoring also, how it has been the different process are there to mentoring the things. That is of the one of the area. Then summary itself. So then unit number 10 is the industrial relations interactions, how to relate the relations to be built up, and the relations can be developed or should be sustained, basically. For that, some of the how it is defining the relations, then what are the pressures for the changes, what type of pressures are coming from externally and internally, the need for the integration of the HRD in IR and development approaches of the industrial relations, why it is required for some of the integrations is required from HRD and the IR, industrial relations. And then what are the prerequisites for a successful HRD? If we have implemented the HRD, then before that we should have some of the prerequisite systems. What are the prerequisites that you have to see it? Then your organizational development approaches towards the industrial relations. Then developmental mechanisms for the improving the industrial relations. All these things are defined in the block number 3, which we have in the previous sessions we have already discussed in detail. In block number 4, where we have explained the trends, what are the trends in the HRD is going on, emerging issues, and what are the perspectives behind it, but that the business environment and the scenario which is going on nationally and internationally also, how it has affected the environment is, how much it is, the degree of density or degree of your problems, or how to manage the things, what are the challenges ahead of the management, and how to cope up the challenges. Then that is to be focused on these things. The trends in the HRD functions, what are the HRD functions now, present trend is going on, then sectorial trends like this, etc. So then go for the HRD experiences, where they understand the HRD functions, then analyze the experiences of the organizations relating to HRD functions. Then we have highlighted the role of the HRD in the organizations, that also we have things. Identify the HRD functions and which have a direct or indirect role of the HRD functions. So this is the way it has been discussed. It has already discussed. And then another part is your introduction, then HR planning and the HRD, how it has to be planned, a job description in the HRD, then your recruitment and the HRD, the selection and the HRD, training and development and HRD. So that part keeping in view of the HRD objectives, uh, uh, what type of training is required? Because training and deployment is the one of the vital part of the HRD. Then talent management and the HRD, then performance appraisal and HRD, then your compensation and the reward development, then your employee engagement and the HRD. There are so many things are areas are there for the so that we can experience this. Ethics and the HRD, what type of ethics are required to maintain the code and conduct, discipline, integrity, and dignity. All these things are part of in the part of your HRD. Then the technology in the HRD, what type of technology are you adopting, or in the future, keeping in view of the future, what type of technology are to be aligned or are to be integrated and can be implemented through, so that we can develop the HRD more and more. Then some of the overview, I can again can repeat some of the things. For the recapping the things, what is the HRD? Because as you know, there are two assumptions are there. It makes sense only when it contributes towards the business improvement and the business excellence. And it also is strongly believed that the good people and the good culture make good organizations. So this is the way we can understand how much it is interested, important for the HRD. HRD actually basically means building the competency in people, commitment of the people, and culture of the organizations. So this is the one of the important slides I just suggest for the review classes, so that it again recap for the revision purposes. Then you see that there are 10 comments of the HRD system, so that there are commented there how it has encompasses of the different subsystems, the competitive advantage, collaborations, communications, competency, counseling, coaching, career development, career agent, code of conduct, and culture building. So all these things, there are 10 subsystems or 10 commandments, 10 commandments you can say it. It is all our HRD systems. Then another diagrams, that is your HRD systems. Again, there are career development, concern of the career development. There it is a self-assessment, then your career awareness, goal setting, skill training, and performing. So this is the way different HRD systems are. Yes. Then your component of the HRD, which are the component of the HRD systems. There are performance survey systems, reinforcement systems, development systems, culture systems, career systems, self-reliable systems, work plan systems. So all the systems are basically the part of your HRD, and it's the component of the HRD systems. Then your HRD for the employees, because any HR development basically for the employees. So primary functions of the HRD is training and development. As I said, the training and development is one of the vital functions. So there again they categorize the leadership and the executive development. This is one of the area. Some of the other executive development program, some of the organizations saying. Another thing, the management and the individual, there are three levels. As we know, there are management levels, there are the executive levels, and your supervisory level. So supervisory is the lower level, suppose for the level 3, and for level 2 is the management levels, where the frontliner manages, they are in between, they are reporting to upward directions, they are reporting to management, and they are controlling the supervisor levels. So in between, they are very crucial. They are just interface. As the interface, they are working. So their development is very much required. And the top levers, leaderships and the executive, CEO and directors, that level training programs. The organizational development, overall organizational development. Then the career development is another area. So this is the way the basic primary functions elaborated here. Then HRD requirement is in order to properly accomplish these three basic functions. So to do so, to properly accomplish the things, we need some of the things. This is a role analysis, employee orientations, performance preferences systems, potential appraisals, counseling, succession planning, participative disease devices, and quality work labels, that is QWL. Then your human resource information systems and your research. So this is the way it is explained. Now another thing, the primary functions and the secondary, which I have now discussed right now here, everything are now it is tabulated form in the flow charts diagrams. HRD, then there are three functions, primary functions, training and development, career development of the organizations, and the right hand side is the secondary functions, the primary functions, and this is the secondary functions, where the secondary functions, the role of analysis, performance appraisal, potentials, performance coaching, and all these areas are your secondary part. Now we have to see the competency mapping, the classification of the competencies, the technical or the functionals, business awareness, organizational awareness, technical skills, external awareness, all are the technical in the area of competencies, the classification of technical part, or functional we can see, because all these things areas are falling under the functional areas. Another area is this is your managerial skills. So where the customer oriented skill, manager should have a good behavior, understand the customer, good relationships. Planning skill, the manager should have a planning skills, cross-functional perspective. Then your concern for the excellence, judgment, manager can take the judgment. Is the human attributes, or you can say the human skill or human attributes, that are communications. Because individual, all the human, all the employee should have a good communication. Communication in all levels, top levels, middle levels, and the lower levels. All the levels should be communication. Means in the sense day-to-day communications, how to put the email, how to present his viewpoints or his knowledge sharing, all respect. Teamwork and the interpersonal effectiveness is another attribute. Then integrity, transparency, and the focus while interacting with the people. That is also that attribute or skills are required as a human. Should be transparent, faithful, trustful, and some dignity should be there. And the focus while interacting with people. That part is also for the competency areas, because now we are classifying the competencies. Assessment center, as I said, is important because designing the assessment center, there are various steps involved in the designing. A full-fledged assessment center should be there, where the deciding the purposes, where the purpose identify the characteristics or the dimensions to be measured, then identifying the assessment tools and the techniques, and the most common ones like this, a basket exercise, role play, leadershipness, then the group discussions, behavioral event, interview, oral presentations, written case analysis, etc. These all are the part of your assessment center. Then performance management. Now, as I've said, there are all things. Now we are maximize the employee's capacity. What is the purpose of this performance management? so that the basic goal are to maximize the employee's capacity and so that he can perform the his roles, duties, and accountabilities. They can understand this, and some expectation from the compensations also will be there. So, required competencies and the expected behaviors are the foremost requirement. So, it is a continuous and ongoing proactive techniques for managing and the employees of the performance and achieving the defined target in the real time so that we can get it instantly without the need for the future reviews and corrective actions so that uh, that level should be achieved. Then performance management enhance the company's profitability and by increasing the employees engagement and the increase the productivity. So if the we increase the their engagement, their participations, then definitely it will be increase the productivity also and and in turn profitability. So, lot of ways the management are very beneficial and is needed also for development. Now, concept of the career development. Now, this is one of the area I feel the question may come. This is the area. This is the career development. It can be understood by the career development covered personal, corporate, or professional. There are three things: personal growth, corporate growth, and your overall professionals. Career planning refer to the process of the changing the employment status because where he now suppose he is joined as a some junior level, now he is a senior. Then after that he is the management category. Then after that he is senior management categories. Then after that he is director levels or CEO in the CEO. So all these the changing the status initially where he is the period of time period of a life or at the various life stages maybe after 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years before the retirement, how it is planned, that there is a career plan. The process of making the long-term learning decisions, competencies in order to balance the career development opportunities. So some long-term process should be there through these learning processes. Organizational career and development is then the activity that takes into account the long-term benefits and success. Then HR needs and the ability to perform the various functions, improve the efficiency, and compete with the other organizations. So this is also area of the things. Now we proceed for the some of the problems because the problem with the top managers because the lack of communications and other interpersonal skills. So that's why sometimes it may not be possible for the as per the setted goals, which where the it should be. So advancement of the career may be hindering some because of the communication of the top levels. The some problems area are the stress, occupational stress, family aspects, it may be family aspects, it may be potential, then initial performance assessment can be as a feedback, and political aspect is also there in the organizations. So some of times the dependence, because employee are dependent very much, that much that they are not able to do the in individual basis or as independently. So always there is a problem basically. Royalty the issues, another thing, moral dilemmas, lot of tensions and stress, or maybe the conflict. That way, there's a stagnations is another issues, and the regression. So all are the bold areas that stress, feedback, moral stagnations, all are the problem areas. Then some of the effort the members recognize their strengths. First things, we have to recognize that their employees' strengths and the weak point as well through the feedback. Then we can rectify the some solution should be there. stereotype, some naturally the employee will be discouraged and should not be uh, uh, do I mean, basically, you have to discourage the stereotype works. You can always tell you innovate something, you do your own, you have to search yourself, some creative uh, atmosphere can be created. So that should be tendency should be uh, that as per the 10 speed part. So it is also required. Supportive personal policies because some of the policies should be there. The employee can be supportive. They can do appraisal systems, training, reward management, potential development, job rotations, career planning. These all are the supportive systems or practices for the HR. Then objectives of the coaching. Now we have to go for the what are the objectives of the coaching. The main purpose of the coaching is to develop the people, develop the employees. This involves the potential as a manager, then your strengths and his weakness that also be identified. Then providing him an opportunity to acquire the more insight into his behavior and analyzes the dynamics of such behaviors, then helping him to have better understanding of the environment. These all are the coaching power, objectives of the coachings. Then interpersonal effectiveness through the effective feedback are required. Then your objectives of the coaching, again the part, there's the further improvement, the goal encouraging the him to set the goals because you just fix your goal and go ahead. That type of motivation is required. Encouraging him to generate the alternatives. So you prepare yourselves a lot of ideas you generate and do it and deal with you so that the problem solving and troubleshooting purposes he can take a action in his own. So that type of capacity through this coaching can be possible. Helping him to review as a non-setting way, so he should not feel any threats because that type of help is required so that he can achieve very easily and can attain and can achieve various objectives. Empathic atmosphere to be created because so that the sharing and the feelings and through this discussing with the tensions and conflicts concern and the problems and this is the way you can build up his moral support is required so that he cannot give a strength basically and can be survive the situations. Then objectives of the mentoring, the main purpose of the mentoring is the people to share their concerns and get both moral support and the guidance. So this is the mentoring part. So there is that time you have to establish some relationship so that the trust can be built up and the persons so concerned and the problems, alternative solutions for the problems. That is sort of all are the helping. Sharing his own relevant experiences. Yes, I have also come across these situations. So that way you have to sharing during the mentoring process. Responding to his emotional needs and you have to respond when really he needs some of the help and that time. So developing the long-lasting personal and informal relationship, you have to develop some of the relationship in for long-lasting. Then empowering is another issue because you have to empower so that the performance coaching mentoring to fulfill the objectives and to increase the employee's potential to make impact through the effectiveness. Helping coaching is this is your essentially helping and helping involves the several process. But the following there are three things are there: how to help the employees, it's the concern and the empathy. That is one of the way. Another thing is mutuality of the relationships. Some of the you can discuss with a very matured way and you can guide as a guide Identifying the development needs. What are the needs are there that you have to identify? Then changes. Some of the changes that are relevant both the management and the unions. What are the changes? Technology and that march towards the computerizations is creating new pressures on the management because that's why it is required for more education is required. And then the new workers and is causing anxiety in both management and the unions because when the unions are there, the new workers are anxiety. So that time some of the integrations, some of the you're required. That's why the question is need for the integrations. HID and IR. So first things we have seen that is the your new technology. That is one of the issues for need for the integrations. Another thing is the new workers join, and this is an anxiety. So both the management union should be integrated. Then your mechanism different mechanisms are there. So both the things, the management and the union should appreciate the things and delay the problems solving. Why the problems are there? They have to sit together and discuss, and finally came some solutions with the solutions. So this is the way. There, that some of the area, the innovative personal practices, quality of the work programs, then your the impact of the improved business performance, pressure from the government and the workers' participations. So all are the integrations are required in terms of HRD and the higher sections. Then some of the prerequisites, how to successful the HRD practices, that how we can achieve. So that's you have to some of the prerequisite systems are there. So the policy should be there. Then some philosophy, the values underlying interactions in the guidelines should be there. Agreed policies and some internal based on the internal dynamics of the union. So that's some agreed policy are to be formulated. Proactive and geared to problem solving, some proactive systems should be there. If it's that situation will occur, what will we do? So then some guidelines should be. And the action plan, what are the action plan should be written and documented. Delegation of powers and different hierarchical levels is also one of the important because delegation of power based on the policy, based on the organizational rules, it will be decided earlier. I mean, before implementing the HRD systems and to achieve the success of the HRD, it should have all these things are as a prerequisite purposes. Then your interpersonal skills, which are very important because interrelations skill are not developed and we cannot success the HRD, we cannot implement the very smoothly. Then accountability for better human resource management. All the sections, all the employees, all the stakeholder of the organizations, everybody should have a accountability. Then economic environments are there. One of the issues, one of the emerging trends, because we have to consider the economic environment also. Some of the government rules are there. Sometimes the government is directly and indirectly given a boost up also, so that when the economic conditions are underlying, declining, so they can some of the as a Manrega scheme as government of the India generated the 100 days of the work immediately. So that we know. So there are a lot of stimulus are there, so that way can be survived. So economic conditions, environment, is impact in the organizations also. So that's why the government initiatives are there and they are taking care. Same thing in the organization point of view also to be taken. Supply and demand of the goods, services determine the price, so quality and quantity, and it is dictate. All these things are dictated the economic behavior, and in a free market. So issues are basically the political, legal environments, social environments, And demographic environment is also important because demographically, the people are some of the populations are there, their age groups, their different cultures groups, capacity, purchasing capacity, all be different because our it is not a very stabilized, and some of the metros are maybe well enough, but in the village or district level, in the urban areas, there maybe may not be that at par the economically strong enough. So all these things parameter has to be seen, and technology as such is one of the area where it is very much affected. If the technology we are not adopting, we may not be competitive. So technology should be adopted, accepted, and implemented as early as possible to survive the organizations, and it can help as a tools for the HRD also. Then your experiences also, the experiences of the organizations across the world and the India highlight the role of HRD then in the relations to human resource management and the development. These are the presented below some of the form of the case studies. HR planning, job description, recruitment, training and development, performance appraisals, all are the areas. Then compensation development, then diversity management, and the inclusions, employment, engagement, all are the experiences from the HRD side. Ethics, as we know, the HRD functions thus as a significant role to play a multicultural, multinational, diversity-oriented organizations. Analysis, as you know, there is reflecting the time real-time research could look like the long-term benefits acquired to the organizations only when the volume or velocity and the variety are mapped for the correlationals, and the accountable intelligence. So, HR analysis provides an opportunity for the HR for a credible image in the company. So, and they can forecast, they can give a feedback what the reality is going on and what are the area to be looked after, or what the problem areas they can identify easily. What are the statement of the problems easily they can identify through this HR analysis. So some of the questions I can discuss where the MMPH usually to what type of questions are coming normally. In the term and exam paper June 2023, here you see the paper is MMPH 002. There are 3 hours papers as like this and 100% hours. The question is coming from like this, the HRD matrix in terms of HRD process and the HRD climate variables, it has come already. Then the area of mechanisms, as I said, the mechanisms, issues of the challenges of the HRD. This is the area already, this type of questions are coming. Highlight the role of a top management in the HRD, which we have discussed. The top management involvement is required. They should communicate all the employees to implement the smooth implement of the HRD. So that questions you have to highlight. What are the role of these things? They should not be absent or not contacted. It should not be there. So I know what are the so this is the questions are quite relevant from the HRD itself. Then explain the meaning of the perspectives of the career planning. As I say, the career planning. So what are the meaning of the career planning? Why it is? What are the perspectives? And then describe what career transition is. So this type of questions are coming. Then discuss the emerging issues faced by the HRD professionals. What are the issues of theirs? And then enlist the role of HRD professionals in the organizations. So all these type of questions are coming. So there will be options. There are sections maybe out of 7 or 8 papers. You have to attempt the 5 papers as a 20 marks like this. So this is the way 100 marks is there. So you will get some option also. So then you see the other questions also, see the concept and the progress of the coaching and the discuss the component of the coaching process. This is also as a coach what to do, what is the responsibility of the things. This is from this chapter just come. Then interconnections between the human resource development and the industrial relations, again from HR, HRD, and IR in terms of your interconnections, and discuss the organization development interventions. So this is from this chapter, block number 4. Then explain the process of mentoring and its importance of HRD. This is the one of the area mentoring chapters. Then your question number 8 is highlight the trends in the HRD functions with the help of tutorial examples. Then highlight the trends in the HRD functions with the help of it. So this type of questions are really coming. Now we can go for another session or another questions. That is some an exam paper, that is December 2022. In this paper you see there are, again it's 3 hours paper. Explain the meaning and the evolutions and the importance of the HRD. It's given what are the HRD, evolutions of the HRD. Then describe the HRD systems as we shown the some of the diagrams where the systems are there. All there are 10 command systems are there that you can elaborate with the figures, and enlist the commandments. There are 10 commandments as I shown in the slides of the HRD systems. That's totally very easy. There are 20 marks. So like these questions. Then define the competency mapping. What is the competency mapping? Why this? Discuss the classification of the competency. There are so many classifications which you have already discussed. This type of questions are coming. Then describe the primary function of the HRD. As we have seen, there are primary function, then secondary function. That chart also I have shown already. There are 3 primary functions are there. There and the HRD. If we want to go the diagram, okay, let us see the diagram again. I can go for, now it is slide number 45. So I think somewhere we have seen. I can show you once again, no problem, so that a better understanding. Yeah, so this is your primary functions and the secondary function, these diagrams, and you can write some of in the written form also you can write in this way. So this is the question answer, primary functions, and this is the way for accomplish the basic things, you require these things. Or you can have a flow chart if you give these diagrams and write some of the things. You will get a good marks like this. So now I have to proceed to slide number 45. Yes. So explain the meaning and the evolution, then system enlist the commandment, then define the competency mapping, discuss the classifications, describe the primary functions of the HRD, which you have seen. Then your explain the concept of the HRD climate and how it is measured. That is also coming under the HRD climate chapters. Then you enumerate the development approaches of the industry. What are the approaches required for the industrial relations? That is also the questions. Then identify the management challenges. What are the challenges with respect to the emerging trends in the HRD? In the last just few minutes back, I think in the back, 2-3 slides before we have 2-3 slides before we have already discussed what are the emerging trends. Highlight the roles of the HRD managers. That also we have shown in the slideshow. There are a role of HRD managers, changing business environment, exactly the same thing we have already shown. So these type of questions are normally coming in the exam. So I think it is not a much problem. You can see these things. Now I have to discuss some of the things pertaining to your exam part. So I think let's go for the HRD technologies. Steps for the change management. One of the questions are likely to be coming in the forthcoming exam. And the steps of the change management, and what are the what should be the tasks for the CEO? And they should what the learning, then understanding, and the managing the new and the different technology. They should know managing the retaining the talent, how to retain the talent. That is also one of the aspects. Review the fit and the current enterprise architecture. They have to, within the structures. They have to see the how we can retain the people. So this is the things. Then after that we can discuss some of the other questions. So many other questions are there, which are part of your exam. This is your. Let's see some of the another area in HRD interventions. That is one of the area where the and for overall growth of our organizations. So that type of questions will come. That time you have to add in order to attain the overall growth of the organizations. The following HRD interventions are required. Number one, the create a self-awareness. Those are things in the participants. Improve their knowledge of the individual differences, then improve their understanding, improve their decision-making ability, then improve the skill of the making better. So this type of answer, if the questions are coming as short questions, identify the HRD interventions. That's right. Answer should be like this. So previous 5 to 6 years question paper you can follow, and then it will be not a problem. Question may come in a 2 section or 3 section. There may be a section A, section B, or section C. Maybe the short questions, medium questions, and the long questions. This is the way it can come. Some 5 marks, 10 marks, 15 marks. Maybe the section A there are 5 marks. There maybe you have to attend for 3 questions or 4 questions. Into 5 marks, 20 marks maybe your section A. Then section B maybe 10 marks. There maybe you have to answer for 3 questions with 30 marks. So and last section maybe there are 15 marks questions, maybe 3, 4. This is the way that can be distributed. Or otherwise there may be a 2 section only, section A and section B. Section A there are 3 questions or question, and section B it may be a long questions, or maybe there are case studies. One of the case studies may come. You have to answer these things in paragraphs. You have to go through these paragraphs and answer the question from the paragraphs itself. So this is the way question pattern can be. But this depends on the things. But most of the cases you can see there are case studies are there and questions are there. But otherwise, this type of questions are coming as I shown. There are 8 questions are coming straight away. There is no section. Total 8 questions, and you have to answer on the out of this 5 questions straight away. Or otherwise, there will be 2 sections come part by part. This is the way also can question become. Then question may come. This is the area. Explain the concept of the career and the different stages of the career development. These type of questions are important. Then what is the human resource development, and discuss briefly the various stages of the HRD. Then critical analysis, the process which brings from the performance appraisals or the performance management. Question may come from discuss the way and meaning of the managing technological changes to work organizations. So like the short note, it may come like this, your socializations, then your induction trainings, coaching, reward systems, this type of questions. Another area is the questions may come, define the globalizations and the global corporations. This type of questions. Coaching process, this as a short note, it may come. Then another questions may come, explain how to do this process by the help of organizations in achieving the excellence. Another area of the questions may come, the assessment feedback systems for the HRD, how it has helped the HRDs. Then question may come around briefly describe the factors which facilitate the developing the change mindset. Explain this with a suitable examples. Short note may come the short notes, short questions, need for the competency mapping, then diversity management or role of a trade unions in HRD, the role of a, then like mentoring, this type of questions may come. Another is your HRD audit, then your another question short like this systems theory and the human performance mentoring, or question like this define the HRD and briefly discuss the changing boundaries of HRD and what are the HRD trends in Asian countries. This type of questions become. Then what is the concept of the career? Then another thing again the competency mapping, then the coaching process, then your HRD audit, managing technological changes in the work organizations. Then what do you understand by the competency based organizational development? Question may come this way, and explain the relationship of the culture to organizational systems. Then questions may come HRD profession in India. That type of questions are likely to be. Then your HRD managing technological changes, as I said. Then your 360-degree appraisal systems or MBO, management by objectives method. So that type of questions may come. Then career transition and the choice, diversity management. So this is the area. Another question is also important. What are the important guidelines for the implementing the organizational development? That is also a question. Mostly I am trying to give you some of the ideas of what type of questions may come, and which is really helpful for your exam preparations. And then your questions may come around the area to describe the concept of the career. Then what are the organizational goals of the organizational development? Then HRD audit and the organizational development interventions. So this type of questions. Normally it has various in question paper. I think you have to go through this, prepare yourselves and make the note yourselves, and write in your own languages. So all the questions, if it is 5-mark questions, then definitely half a page or 1 page is sufficient. If it is a 10 marks, then definitely you have to go for 1.5 page or at least 2 pages you have to write. Definitely it should be relevant things you have to prepare, and accordingly you have to prepare your question papers and write your own way. And I hope everybody will be benefited from this. So okay, I think now thank you very much. I've explained all these things. That is, the review class is over now. Okay, thank you. क्या हो गया तबीयत खराब हो गई क्या? अच्छा अरे मैं अच्छा खासा प्लान बना ली। अच्छा हाँ आज रिव्यू क्लास था। मोस्टली सारे जो सेशन किया ना उसका कंप्लीट रिव्यू किया, पढ़ने को कितने सारे क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं। पुराना प्रिंटिंग मटेरियल था वो